Hi guys, welcome back. UK here with another vid. First off, you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little bit chesty. I'm just getting over a bit of a cough and a cold from the weekend, so my apologies. This vid is in response to Natural 20 Films and his 5 fantasy movies all RPGers should see. He's got some interesting ones, and I've seen some very interesting responses to this particular vid. Some of which I agree with, some of which I don't. I think a couple of people have got some terrible choices, but it's all good and personal opinions. Okay, and I'm going to actually be copying quite a few people here because having to pick 5 films was quite difficult because there's quite a few that I think role players should see. Fancy role players. So in no particular order, these are my top 5. The Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'm going to put it down as one film because, quite frankly, it's one story. It's just split into 3. And the reason for this is, to me, regardless of whatever else you might think of Lord of the Rings, to me it is or at least the Fellowship it's the perfect example of the D&D style adventuring party. You know, the party gets together for a quest, off they go, they have encounters on the way, they have monsters, they have traps, there's evil villains, characters die, but ultimately they fight their way through the entire adventure path, as it were, and they reach the end and possibly live happily ever after. Pardon me. And to me that is the perfect D&D sort of game in a movie. Secondly would be the recent Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. Because of the fantasy element. I love the other 2 films as well, but this is the only one that really does sort of like a justice to me, role play wise sort of thing, because it's one of those films that I can sit there and you can see the young people who come from who just sort of stumbled into things, like our play characters at first level, and as they go through, they find out about the evil plot and they get equipped with magic gear and they become heroes whether they wanted to or not. The other 2 films have also been done, Prince Caspian and Voyage of the Dawn Treader, are also really awesome. But of the 3, I would say that this is the one that I think everyone should watch. Thirdly is Dragon Slayer. It's been mentioned a couple of times by other people. It's an old Disney movie about a wizard's apprentice who ends up saving the kingdom from a dragon. And considering it's early 80s and the special effects are usually very dodgy in early 80s films, the effects in this are awesome, especially for the dragon. I really recommend this one. It's a good way of showing you how to use a dragon in an RPG. My third option would be Jason and the Argonauts. Again, another one that quite a few people have mentioned, because when I was a kid and I was looking to get into role-playing games and what have you, it was one of the 2 films, the other one coming up in a moment is my 5th choice, that really did it for me, that really had my imagination stoked. And Jason the Argonauts is awesome, because again you have a group of heroes and they're on a grand quest and there are villains and monsters and everything else. Which generally is, as you're probably gathering from this, is exactly the sort of thing that makes these sort of films for me. And the fact that Ray Harryhausen's fantastic stop motion, the skeleton fight, got mentioned in another vid, apologies, I forget who it was who said it, is just phenomenal and will always stick with me as just one of the most classic fantasy moments in any film. And my 5th choice would be Clash of the Titans, the original, also Ray Harryhausen one. Although I do quite like the new one, it's nowhere near as good as the classic one. And again, you have a hero, he is touched by the gods, he has a destiny, and you have the quest that he's on, to rescue the princess, as it were, and he's got to do all these little side quests in order to get there to do it and then save the city of Argo and everything else. Awesome. Those are my 5. There are a few others that I would have possibly done, so I'm going to get honourable mentions. One would be the current HBO series of Game of Thrones as a perfect example of how to do the politics in a kingdom, and the threats and everything else that they face for that sort of style game. People will probably jump me for this, but I actually quite like the first 2 of the D&D movies. I haven't seen the third one yet, and I'm not going to touch it by the looks of it. But I don't mind the first one, and I really like the second one. The second one was actually worthwhile. What else would I pick? In an odd sort of way, there's a film called Outlander, which is kind of like Vikings versus giant evil space monster sort of thing, and that's one I really recommend. To show you how you would have your primitive, not necessarily primitive, but your medieval style world thrown into turmoil by the arrival of some kind of monster out in the forest sort of thing. Other honourable mentions would probably go to the recent animated version of Beowulf, and a rather cool film called Ironclad, which is a group of knights, mercenaries, having to defend a castle. Rather good film. Anyway, those are my 5 and a couple of honourable mentions. I'm interested to see any more videos that get put out for this, so until next time, take care and good gaming.